Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the ETF2L Season 36 Week 1 Premiership matchup between Ora Elektro and nerdRage. I almost said versus there, that's not grammatically correct. My name is Wandum, joining you tonight, standing in for Grumpy Coys. He unfortunately had to leave. Beta is with me as well on production, and of course, Bumfries is joining me as well.
Hello.
So, going into this matchup, it's looking honestly like I don't want to say a preview of the finals necessarily, but it definitely does look like a potential playoff series for sure. Both of these teams, I mean, just getting right into it, honestly, they're looking like definitely to be in the top of the tables.
Yeah, definitely. These two always round about the top of the tables. Definitely some playoffs teams on the servers tonight after the lost season of last season. Maybe unfamiliar with the new rosters. Everything was a bit of a mess and hurry while ETF2L was offline over the off-season, but we do have two well-known rosters coming back. nerdRage, of course, based on the Egg roster from previous season, and Ora Elektro, now with a funny different name that I don't know, but it's roughly the same gang.
Yeah. I could go look it up on ETF2L right now.
It's the Church of Jazunis.
Oh, yeah.
I would assume half of that is the Azunis, and I don't know where the J comes from.
I think it's from Jesus.
Who's that guy?
I don't know. I think he got wiped on the ETF2L sort of data leak. He's no longer available, so we can't look up his past seasons, unfortunately.
Oh, damn. It's a real shame. Well, he can't have been that good if he wasn't. I don't remember him from last season.
I don't either, I'm gonna be honest. But anyway, I do believe that we have gotten the wrong connect and have found a different connect. So while we rejoin, I think we should probably just like start running down the rosters a little bit.
Yeah, so I can do the new Ora Elektro for you if you like. The Church of Jazunis.
I think you should go for it.
Scouts, Nevo, and Sorex. Soldiers, Azunis, and Amarok. Once again, Demo Man, of course. It's the emo bitch of the season, Eames. And Med. Corn Dog. Coming back to the top. Connor on Medic once again. Last seen playing with Amps that few seasons back. Can't remember, was that an Ascent sponsored team? I believe it was.
I believe they ended up being... no, wait. Yeah, they were Ascent sponsored, because afterwards, when Condog left, they became nerdRage sponsored. Because TF2 isn't confusing at all, you know? Like...
all these orgs names could refer to thousands of different rosters over the course of the last few years. But take us through nerdRage, Wandum.
So nerdRage is gonna be the team in Prem that has changed the least, most likely. It's pretty much... I'm pretty sure it's actually just the Egg roster that you should remember from the end of last season. They did sort of end up towards the playoffs, being picked up by nerdRage. So we've got Yeehaw, Kunu on Scout. Obviously, these guys came together after, funnily enough, Ora Elektro kind of crashed in on itself when Eames decided he didn't want to play anymore. Demul is here as well. Josh, the Major, is on Pocket. It's going to be the big sort of main caller, sort of big voice for the team, sort of leading them forward. Got Elikor on Demo, known as one of the big demo men in Europe. He's really one of the big boys. Besides Lucas, who's playing Division 1 for some reason this season, Elikor is really supposed to be one of the big men. And then, of course, you've got Shock on Medic. Up-and-coming player who, you know, he's not that old, but I think he's been getting better, but I'm not quite sure if I'm ready to believe in him yet.
Yeah, I have absolutely no clue about what has been going on in the off-season. I have not managed to keep track of scrim results or anything, so I wouldn't be able to say until I've seen this matchup tonight pretty much, but if you do remember from the wiped year of ETF2L history, Shock was a huge up-and-comer that just appeared out of nowhere pretty much, picked up by Ora Elektro as his first Premiership team. And yeah, literally just came off the back of mid into Prem, I believe, was the
yes,
the huge storyline of that season.
So Shock is kind of one of those players that he got picked off pretty much solely on the fact that he was able to perform competently enough in pugs to where people noticed him. He has really good mechanics, I think is fair to say, but I think he is kind of, in a way, he's a bit Condog-esque, because a lot of the time I seem to look at his POV and he's just in some really strange situations. Well, it's not quite at the level of Condog, because to be honest, nobody really is at that level. But you know, like he has some solid mechanics. I think he definitely I think he has some way to go. But I think on a team with the one and only Josh, I think there's pretty much, besides maybe on a team with Eames or maybe Pappy, I don't really think there's a better place to sort of learn, pick up the class.
Yeah, get shouted into submission by one of these very hardcore style main cores who are really the driving force of the team. Chat's been voting while we've been chatting, and 52% of people think that nerdRage are going to win. So it's a very close vote on this one. I actually have no idea, having not seen anything of the two teams since the last season. But what do you think of the new Ora Elektro roster? Pretty much only difference being Corndog. What do you think compared to when they unfortunately disbanded last season? Is that an upgrade, a downgrade? Is Corndog going to be rusty on his first time back?
I think compared to Shock, I think you could probably say he's about even, honestly. Corndog is obviously a different style of player. Where when we last saw him, he was on a team with AMS on Pocket Scout, and everyone knows how that went, which was that team, that Ascent team, was very much towards the end. That was AMS running in and Corndog sort of being the only medic really willing to follow him into the very funny situations he'd sort of get himself into. But I think going into this, I think honestly a more sort of interesting comparison is that ultimately, even though he's not really even playing this season for Ora, he is playing, but he's on a different team, is Connor compared to Seeds, because in the preseason cup we did have, in replacement for Copenhagen LAN, rest in peace, Seeds was playing with this Ora Elektro roster, and they actually managed to make it all the way to the finals, if I remember correctly. Really putting on a pretty good showing, honestly. And I think, bringing it back to the original point, Condog is known as one of these really aggressive meds who likes to go forwards. He plays with a lot of hubris. And I'm not really sure if he's a good fit for a more conservative team that is Ora Elektro.
Yeah, I definitely see what you're saying. Connor is a wild card type of medic who will just be anywhere he wants to be at any time. Obviously, Eames a lot more of a passive style main caller. We saw last season wouldn't even push into last, would rather force it into golden cap, things like this, just wanting to be as safe and as certain as possible to assure that you get those ETF2L points. So unless they have a sizable advantage, they might not be wanting to make the moves.
But I think if you look on the other side of the table as well, I think, honestly, looking at nerdRage, I feel like they have the players, and also they've been together for a while at this point. I think they have the players, and they probably, at this point, they should be starting to build up the synergy that I think you probably really need to come number one in Prem. I think they're one of the main they're one of the front runners in the race to winning the whole thing. But what I really want to see from nerdRage, and I'm really hoping that we get from them this season, is that they start to be a little bit more proactive in their play. Because when Ora, yes, is a little bit passive, I feel like nerdRage is guilty of being even more so. There are just so many situations where they don't push, they don't do anything, they just wait for you to go into them, and then don't do the push correctly so they can capitalize off your mistake and go in. But when you're in a situation where I do believe, when we're playing against Ora, who also don't like to make many mistakes, we're probably just gonna be in a situation where we're gonna have some stalemates here, Bumfries. I'm scared.
Yeah, and I agree with that point you were making at the start. nerdRage's synergy, keeping this exact same roster from the previous season, goes miles in Prem. We used to see pretty much every season, one team might stay together and everyone else would be a random shuffle of just mixing pug-style teams that would just get thrown together in the off-seasons. But nowadays, more than most of the time, we've got these rosters sticking together. Ora Elektro obviously having pretty much this roster for several back-to-back seasons if we put aside the break they took in the last one, and then nerdRage, of course, two seasons in a row, starting to build up that synergy, the cohesion that a team needs to be the best. It's a lot more exciting to watch these storylines unfold over several seasons. Got a bit of a rivalry on the server rather than just having brand newly formed teams battling it out randomly in Prem.
Yeah, and I think, honestly, looking at this, if there's ever a time where it's personal between two teams, it's probably these two teams, right? Because if you look at the history of nerdRage, half of the players on this roster were on Ora Elektro last season, but then Eames decided he didn't want to play the game anymore, and he just kind of quit out of nowhere around like week 2, and suddenly there was this whole Ora Elektro team that just kind of, where half of them just ended up getting shuffled out of existence, and the other half just ended alongside half of the players on Egg, and sort of melded together into this weird sort of nerdRage roster that came to be. Sort of ultimately, like I believe they came second, or maybe even third. I actually don't even remember, Bumfries.
Yeah, I can't remember, and I couldn't do the research. Yeah, yeah, that's a shame. Oh well.
Yeah, I mean, they were good, but
just pretend that we won Prem, Wandum.
Yeah.
That would be a funny joke, wouldn't it?
It would be really funny. But like casters, they need experience, and 2 Premiership champion casters is exactly what you will be getting tonight. As we did very much conquer Premiership last season, won it with surprising efficiency and surprisingly little mercy. Honestly, I was a little bit shocked. You're cold.
I didn't know you were that good at Demo Man Wandum.
I know. I picked it up one day and I was like, oh my god, this class is so easy.
You just press mouse 1 and mouse 2 at the same time, everything just dies. It's like, what the hell?
It's like, as a soldier, right, you look at a choke point and you shoot rockets at it, nothing happens. But as a demo man, you look at a choke point and you don't have 4 rockets, you have like, what is 8 plus 4? That's 12. 12 things to shoot at a choke point at once. That's a lot of damage. And because of that, I think Demo Man really just ended up being my class.
Yeah, having 12 things to shoot is more than anyone could ever need. I don't know why Valve decided to do that. I heard the other day, I think they gave Heavy like 200 things to shoot.
No way! That sounds OP.
Yeah. Don't worry though, we'll ban all his weapons or something. I read that on Reddit.
Yeah.
Anyway, do you want to get back on topic? Do you have anything else to talk about? Maps tonight.
We could probably discuss the maps a little bit.
Process and Sunshine first up.
Yeah. I think this is week 1, so first map will be Process. Process is known for being the scout map, probably at this point. It used to be, oh my god, the Roma can do this really cool rollout, so it's obviously a soldier map. But then people realized that the scout can get onto every single high ground on the map, basically, which means that it's extremely hard as a soldier to do anything here. So I do really think that this is one of those maps where it's really good for scouts, it's really good for snipers. Obviously, there are some notorious sniper players on both teams. Nevo loves himself a little bit of sniper. So does Demul, and of course Kunu, who is Premiership Highlander sniper, very, very good at clicking heads. I wouldn't be surprised.
Known as one of the best. Surprised. One of the best snipers around, being a Highlander sniper for, well, God knows how long.
Yeah, I don't know.
Absolutely millennia. But we haven't seen him picking up sniper very much, particularly in last season. It was always Demul on the sniper, Kunu preferring to stay on the beam scout he's known so much for. So Demul might be the one to end up on sniper simply because, as you said, soldier being a lot less important in the current day TF2 economy than a scout is, so you might as well have him on the sniper, seeing as he probably wouldn't want to have to off-class on Scout to replace Kunu, but finally we are into the game here. We have the Church of Jazunis versus nerdRage. Take us away on mid numero uno, Wandum.
All right, Eames is going to be walking alongside the pack. Never mind, there's actually a soldier pretty far aggressive here. Both soldiers getting a lot of early spam onto Eames, but it looks like that doesn't matter right now. They're just going to regroup both teams. Not really want to do anything quite yet. That is going to be a soldier jumping up across. They are on the pack right now. Not doing anything further. Josh just sitting behind. They're re-healing again. This is taking so long. But Demul gets a kill onto Condog. All of a sudden, mid is just blown wide open. Eames gone down as well. And now, all nerdRage have to do is keep their own medic alive. Josh kicked up 2 really nice kills on Azunis and Sorix. He does go down for it, but Amarok jumps a scout. Yeehor, he's 70 HP. Clicks the two remaining players, and that is a decisive victory on the mid for nerdRage.
Yeah, both teams just pretty much AFK staring at each other for the first 10 seconds of that mid, but then Josh and Demul, with a bit of fake bomb trickery into a real bomb, just immediately get the med pick they wanted, start to move forwards, and yeah, just an easy, decisive mid. As you say, now they have the full ad. It's still a 40% ad. We have Nevo on Sniper on the defense here. Finally, nerdRage starting to take into lobby, but there's 80% on Corndog already. Unless they go quickly, they might actually get this. 90%. Elikor now popped onto him. Kunu gets dropped from the Uber by Eames' pipes. The sentry goes down, but Corndog already has the Uber, and he's going into lobby. He's going to wrap them all. They don't even have to use here, in fact. He does take that direction now. Josh onto him as well. Gets the force, but that's a full wipe for nerdRage. Ora get that second point back easily.
Yeah, Ora just... Oh, nerdRage, sorry. Just not quite fast enough. Ora doing a pretty good job there of delaying it. Look at Sorix. Pasta Man is back doing pasta things. I wonder what pasta is this time. Might be some fusilli, I don't know, maybe some penne, but he's already on mid. Just securing that, making sure, spawn camping a little bit, as they do get all the way back to middle. Condog, it's actually only got a 20%, 30% ad around that. It's 20%, there we go. So I do the math properly, so they're just going to set up right now in choke Ora. That's really nice deflecting. That kill onto Elikor pretty much just sealed the deal there. That snipe was really, really nice. Kunu going down to the pipes as well was really good, but look at them. They're actually electing to go into PC already. It's only a 10% ad at this point. But they're going in anyway. Sorix is going to lead the Uber through lower. There's not really any position on nerdRage. There are a lot of stickies, however. It looks like maybe Ora might be second-guessing themselves. No, never mind. Look at Sorix. He's still in. Nobody's really committed to anything. Neither team has popped the Uber, but the health on the blue soldiers is so low. It is Nevo going down first of all, but Shot gets piped by Eames. And this makes it so much harder for them to hold. Azunis does go down, but look at Ora. They're just backing away already. Yeehor does get taken down, and they know they just have to keep Connor alive here. Wait for their spawners, come back in with the follow-up kills afterwards.
Though. Here comes Josh in from mid. He gets onto Eames, but that's not going to be enough. Condog is just nowhere near anyone right now. They are not going to be able to get this force. It's a full advantage for Connor. That was very strange, because by the time Ora Elektro had got in through PC, it wasn't even an advantage, but nerdRage just kept backing up, giving them the space, and then eventually Shock just somehow drops to that pipe. Looks like Eames already ready to take this Uber. They've managed to get in through before. They do pop it off now, and the sentry is down instantly. Now bombing over into the heavy on the left-hand side. They are getting the frags they want. The sticks are dead off point, and it just gets capped straight away by Nevo. Textbook process last. Sentry down, sticky's gone. Play the point.
Yeah, the heavy going down out of Yeehor there is also really important. Even though he might not do any damage, that the bullets, the 200 bullets, very OP, do a really good job of actually sort of deflecting soldiers bombing in. They get hit by those bullets. Really nice play coming out of Ora there, capitalizing off of that medic pick onto Shock. We are onto the second middle now. It looks like might be slow again, with both teams electing to go on the right side. Josh just sort of scouting out the area. Decides to jump a scout, which, you know, it's not always the optimal play, as Eames actually walking forward. Shock has gone down to a bomb from Amarok. Josh taken down as well. It's just a Mool, and there's an Elikor just flying in, trying to get to Condog, his former teammate, but Connor does not budge. Eames does get taken down by Yeehor, but I think it's just Kunu. He's on his medic.
Oh! Wow, Kunu with that clutch play just takes up Connor at the very end of that fight. Salvages it for his team. Now Shock gonna have a pretty decent advantage and the heal advantage here. All the damage onto Ora Elektro is gonna be worth a lot with no heals.
Oh, no!
But Azunis immediately onto Shock, gets the revenge.
Alright, we are in the chaos now. Where is your god? As medics do not get to live in this game. It's so easy to play it when you have extra heals. But when Azunis just sees his medic go down, he's like, Condog, I got you, bro. Maybe actually Condog had planned all of that all along and they just know. Because now they're going to walk into second with heals. They do have heals in the meantime. Elikor is actually sitting on the high ground, spamming him, just doing a bit of damage. Look at Josh, he's already 50 HP. Tamul as well gets shut down. That's 2 soldier kills, and I don't think nerdRage should stay in here at all. That is just, they are leaving, getting back into last. It's only a 20% advantage, however, for nerdRage, but they're already in lobby. I think they want to go far right here.
Yeah, they've already taken all this ground on 5. Azunis getting up top. There's stickies on the spawn door. They just need to play this point, but Elikor is laying stickies down on top of it over and over. The Uber does come in. They immediately get shocked with it. Now, they are trying to play the point. The stickies are dead, but all the frags seem to be going the way of nerdRage. It's 2 for 2, but then the point gets played by Amarok right at the very end.
Yeah, I think this is where I sort of am with, this is sort of my point around Shock, where I don't think he's quite there yet. There are a lot of times, I think we've really seen this already twice, sort of costing them rounds for nerdRage, where Shock gets caught out in these really weird positions where you really cannot get caught out as medic. Really nice plays coming out of Ora, but just sometimes you gotta hope that, like, Shock doesn't die for this. Look at this passive mid out of nerdRage. They aren't going anywhere near. And Ora, they're just looking at them as well. Handshaking in middle so far. Nobody really wanting to take the first step. There's actually a soldier finally bumping a high ground. He's going to get off it immediately again. Somebody just press the W key, man.
The control point is being captured.
Pause? Question mark?
Yeah,
Am I crashing?
We have paused the game, so we are going to hold out the middle for a little bit longer. It was getting a little bit suspenseful as both teams were starting to press the W key, and everyone knows we can't have that. So far, this middle is proving to be extremely passive, and
yeah,
I don't know, Bum. I don't know.
The first mid was by far the most passive. Everyone pretty much was just on their own side, and that allowed Josh and Demul to get those bombs in. They did some funny trickery on the first mid to allow themselves to get all the way in and clean that mid up. On the second mid, on the other hand, Nevo took the high ground pretty much straight away, which wasn't done on the first mid, and just having a scout up there pretty much was the entire thing that tipped the mid fight the other way. I think Azunis or Amarok, their names are so similar. 6 letters.
Yeah, it's
start
so
with A.
hard.
It's really difficult. But
They're both French as well. It's just...
One of them managed to get a bomb in early on the mid fight simply due to Nevo having that high ground. Josh tried to counter bomb, and Nevo just shut that down instantly. But this time, both teams seem pretty even in the high ground fight, but now Ora have taken it, and they are taking the W over the point. Demul, though, bombing in, will get shut down. It's 6v4 now, and looks like nerdRage are just going to opt to leave.
Yeah. nerdRage, Ora really sort of grasping the W in more ways than one there, as they do come out on top of that middle. They're actually looking to press the advantage here, moving in off of this one pick onto Demul. Elikor is not quite there with them yet. They are moving forwards. They are moving. They get a kill onto Kunu so far. Elikor's actually trapped a little bit under. He's not really with anyone on his team. That's a bomb coming onto the high ground. Doesn't do that much damage. And they're just kind of posturing once again. Ora trying to get forward. It's a kill onto Yeehor by Azunis. Josh getting arrowed as well. Demul in this sort of connector area. He wants to go forward. He's just going to have to back off. That's a kill onto Elikor. Even Ubers, but a demo man kill onto last. Yeehor dead as well. Means that Ora are going to push into last already.
Yep, looks like they are in through 4. They even get the force, and Connor hasn't popped. This is perfect. He now uses off the better Uber. He's got about 2 seconds better, on this Uber. They do manage to clean up Kunu with it. Demul also going down. Elikor has just respawned, but he hasn't put stickies on the point yet. He's just trying to kill everything. That's not going to work. Now it's a 6v2. Eames goes down, but everyone is on the point. That's another round for Ora. They are looking commanding in this first map.
Yeah, they're really, really being good. They're playing around the advantages that they are getting really, really well. I'm really surprised how well they're sort of capitalizing off of the small player advantages. They pushed in onto second there off of only a soldier pick, which is not something that you'd ever really honestly see nerdRage do. I think at most they probably just sack in a player. They're just really good at this. We are on to another mid-fight, fourth mid-fight of the game. This time Azunis, a little bit aggressive here onto the enemy pack, actually. And Eames getting really nice damage onto them as well from his stickies. Medic's actually caught out here, but it is Amarok getting taken down. So is Nevo. Soldier bombing into choke, locking them out. Aura's stuck between a rock and a hard place. Shot does go down to Azunis. Looks like Eames has found his way out for his team, but never mind. Look at that. Josh is already there. Onto the connector. They just want to go through, but they can't. He's trapping them out. Sorix finally chases him, gets the kill. One rocket onto him. Won't matter.
Connor's going to come
he still
straight
has
back
ad.
in now. Yeah, he has this full Uber charge. Sorix clears the stickies, and there's really no contest here. They don't have their soldiers alive. Demo is on sniper, though. Will he get this angle onto Connor? He takes a shot, but he does not hit it. So he will be forced out now. Connor and his team take this mid-fight and retain their Uber charge advantage for second. Looks like they immediately want to go choke here. Sorix clearing the stickies. They pop through on Eames. It's a very deep bomb towards one, but everyone's already out. Josh might get caught here by Amarok, but no, it's a zero casualty Uber by the looks of it. Sorix actually just passed us into last and goes 1-for-1 with Elikor, which is definitely a worthwhile trade. But now the 80% advantage on Shock. It's tempting, but without a demo man to knock these players off this high ground, it's going to be difficult.
Yeah,
Looks like they are coming through top IT after all, slowly but surely.
Ooh. This is getting Ora a lot of time to sort of get their soldier onto high ground. The demo going down like that. It's actually Azunis in onto the medic. Does not get the pop. Doesn't get the kill, rather. He gets the force out of the medic. That Uber goes right back into Condor's favor. He is on middle already, 80%. That force was really nice. I don't think Shock had to pop there. There were like 3 bodies in front of him that could have tanked that rocket for him.
And I don't think the rocket even got loaded in time, but I suppose sometimes you just panic pop. That's the way things are. And now we see Connor and Eames rolling this in through lower. This time they're trying not to get forced. Demo is above them though. Could have gone behind and got that flank there after picking off that player in PC, but no. Looks like nerdRage is just going to get out. And it's going to even up eventually. We have 80% on Shock right now, but looks like there's nowhere near the time needed for Ora to get into position after they spend that time capping the points. So they're going to be happy. They're 3 rounds up. They're on the enemy team's last. They could just bore us for 18 minutes and take a very easy win.
I would not be surprised. We do have Amarok on a conch. Going to be looking to build up a little bit of an extra little bonus Uber maybe. As we do have a Pyro and a Sniper. Yeehor decides to play a funny class. As his hero Gaz would probably love him to do. Kuno on the Sniper as well. He's going to try to peek out here, try to get a kill onto probably anyone, honestly. You'll take pretty much anything, sniping out a process last. The angles aren't that good, but look at that. It doesn't matter if Elikor just kills both your soldiers. Suddenly that conch is back down to 0%. This is really good for nerdRage. They get a kill onto Nevo as well, and they have to get all the way out here. Ora
they catch
losing
Sorix
as well. This is a disaster. Condor goes down to a rocket by Josh. And this is just... Oh, no. That is an absolutely massive rocket, though.
Yeah, Josh just sees his opportunity. As soon as that scout goes down, there's no protection. He just runs in and gets the air shot. Elikor going down on the other hand, but that's nowhere near as much as they need if they want to stop this from getting capped up here. They still have no soldiers. That's no initiation to bomb in and contest. Shock with the 70% ad, rolling this forwards through Al-Qaeda. There are sticks all over the point, but they're going to be cleared instantly. And looks like Ora just have to get all the way out to last. This is still going to be an advantage by the time second is capped. We could just see a coast-to-coast off of that crunch in lobby. Kunu taking the big solo through one. Hasn't been used on yet, but it is popped off now. Yehor actually gets dropped by a pipe from Eames, and the Uber is quite unsuccessful. They have this left side, but they have one fewer players alive.
Condor?
Now, Josh bombing all the way in while Kunu tries to edge the point a little bit. Azunis just bombs into everyone though, and all the damage, all the kills. They're all Auras.
Condog was so close to dying, you would not believe it. He was standing there in his door at like 50 HP while a soldier was bombing him, and he just about manages to press the resub button and doesn't get killed. So now he's found his team a nice little 80% advantage. Demul is on the sniper, going to be standing there looking at choke, but it looks like Ora, there we go. They will be moving back up. I think Demul has been spotted. That should mean that now Ora, yes, they will be moving through PC, but that is a tiny choke point. It's pretty easy to spam, and yes, the Uber's popped out immediately, but they are onto Elekor right now. Elekor down to 20 HP, does get taken down by Amarok. I think that is
Josh
it. Never mind.
well.
Josh goes down to a nice little trap by Eames as well. So they're going to continue pressing this advantage. That demo kill is really big. That's a lot of spam not there for nerdRage. But Shock does have the Uber now. They get the force. Eames is like 2 HP. He's gonna crater. That is a bit unfortunate. But look at the back cap.
Yeah, during that Uber, they just kept 3 players behind. They do manage to take Demul down and drag all of nerdRage back. As soon as the huge bomb does take down Shock in the fight as well. So now it's 3v4, but Connor has the heals up, whereas the other team doesn't. That means that they can just leave second. They don't really mind. They'll get it back straight away afterwards due to this Ubercharge advantage they've managed to keep. Shock is just dying a lot more than Connor, it seems like.
I was expecting Aura to be really passive, but they're actually playing off these player advantages really well. Expecting this game, again, to be a lot slower. They're just not really willing to slow it down. They keep pushing, and even right now they're peaking. They do lose Azunis off of this. Loses the 1v1 2 Demul there. Sarge is still in. They're popping this Uber ad off of this really big advantage. They haven't found a kill yet. They're only going to find this one soldier. I think PC is actually going to be Eames going down first to Kunu. They should be getting out of this pretty much immediately. They don't even get the cap right now. They can't really fight this anymore. nerdRage, they're pushing back out. Yehor does get down to 12 HP from Sorix. Looks like Aura, they're just going to walk back into middle. Shock, 80% Uber already.
Yeah, Aura just have to get out here as well. That was a poor Uber on second. Connor getting forced just by spam there. And then Eames bombed deep, but Connor did not chase the same direction with his scout. He couldn't link back up with Eames, so Eames was just left alone, not invulnerable, and fighting a scout in a 1v1, which isn't great. Amarok straight in with the rockets, doesn't manage to force Shock off there. So that's going to be the only player they're willing to lose on second. They'll get straight back to last. They don't want to go 2 down and just jeopardize their entire last hold. And now actually Connor will have the Uber by the time they come in here. It looks like they're slowing down. They've noticed that. They're just going to send these soldiers in for a sack. And they are getting onto Connor, but he surfs away to the other side.
No.
That's actually 3 down, which is quite tragic. This is going to be a definite push out from Ora Elektro here, but they do catch Azunis with the trap above lobby, which is slowing them right down. They do manage to push it out of 2 now. Amarok bombing forwards to get the space for his team, but there's no follow-up. They're so slow to get out of this rollout, and now Demul straight onto Connor. It's an easy force. They are just so delayed in getting out of last here, Aura. They will not be able to salvage anything with this Uber. It's straight back to last, and they've gifted Shock 100% ad on a silver platter.
That was really nice there by Demul. Getting that force is so important. Elekor does fumble a little bit on the jump, but he's right there onto the high ground. Gets the sentry gun kill, and the kill onto Nevo as well. Does go down himself over. That's honestly probably the best you can hope for if you are Aura. Still Sticky's on the point as well, but there's just 1 soldier on the high ground. 2 scouts on the point. They are going to get shot by Eames, but Azunis does go down. It's just 1 scout on the point, and Aura not quite there in time. nerdRage are finally responding with another round of their own. They're going to have to get 2 rounds in 12 minutes, so it is entirely possible, but it is basically crunch time at this point. They're going to have to start doing something fast, Bumfries.
Yeah, nerdRage looking a lot better. That didn't look like even it was the only opportunity for them to take that round, so they are definitely not going to let themselves get rolled here. Maybe that tactical pause after the third round was what they needed to get engaged. We're seeing another slow-ish mid, Josh being the first one to bomb forwards, but Amarok straight in, lands on Shock's head and just Gumba stomps him into the floor. It's an easy kill for him. Elekor and Kunu gonna bomb straight back out. Connor has stayed alive throughout the entire mid-fight, so he's gonna have a big advantage for last. He's got 60 ad here.
Kondok had a really nice surf into his own sewer there towards the end, where Demul or Josh, I actually can't even remember which soldier it was. They have the same cosmetics, and that's really, it's not good for casting Bumfries. They did go in, tried to get onto him, and it didn't really end up working out, to be completely honest. Kondok just surfed it so well, juked his way into sewer, managed to get out alive. So now he is finding himself with a 50% advantage. They will be looking to push out of here. Right now, they are coming into the last. Sentry spotted, immediately going to be spammed down right now. They're going to be looking. Eames jumping up onto the high ground. That's a lot of damage dealt, but no kills have been found so far. It's actually only Eames going down with no demo. Enivo going down as well. They only find a kill onto Josh, and they will be hightailing it out of the middle once again. All the way back to middle. Shock has a really big advantage now.
Yeah, Yeehaw also managing to pick up Amarok on the way out like a speeding bullet. That's going to have a soldier down on the mid-fight. Makes it a lot easier to not get forced as you walk into middle. So they are going to try and take this 50% ad in without having to use, if possible. But there's a sniper in the forwards. Nevo makes his presence known with a warning shot. But Josh is already over there to deal with it. And Ora are just going to leave by the looks of it. Sorix might get caught, but he does manage to escape with his life. It's evened up, but they've got themselves midpoint. It looks like they don't know that as they use straight in through choke, and Shock just immediately uses in response. They had a lot of players to flash because they thought that was a push rather than a trade, but it looks like no one's going to be punished for it. No one's actually died here on the side of nerdRage, and in fact, they'll get Amarok for their troubles. It's Ora Elektro who chase a little bit too much into mid on the tail end of the Uber. So with this one pick advantage, we'll see what nerdRage decide to do, sorry.
Yeah, nerdRage just immediately retreat back to mid, retreat back to their high ground. They decide they can't fight that on their second, but they are able to fight it on their own turf. Kondok gets taken down immediately by Kunu. That's Demul getting a nice little kill onto Azunas as well, and a nice little bonus frag there. But that kill onto Kondok is absolutely massive right now. As nerdRage, they are just slowly but surely choking the enemy out of their own second point. Building up that Uber on Shock right now. He's 70% already. Looks like they just want to go right now. Not really sure if they actually want to do this. No, they do back out once again. Repositioning. Shock is only 86% right now. He's going to have to get the remaining 14. But Azunas gets a really nice rocket onto Kunu, and that's going to slow down a push just a little bit. I'm not sure if it's going to be enough. That's Elekor coming in with the Uber right away onto Eames. Doesn't get the frag, however, point's getting shot at right now. But Azunas has won a nice little trade in lobby once again. Wins another 1v1, this time with Josh. And that is just Ora collapsing back in onto nerdRage. nerdRage are not able to find the point. Not able to find any frags, really, with that Uber.
Yeah, the entire Uber was spent on Eames, who just immediately resup binds, and then everyone on the team comes out of the other side of last, and nothing has been achieved. They just embarrassingly walk backwards with their Uber charge still on, unable to do anything. Demul bombing in to try and force off Connor, who's in lobby right now. Yeehaw with the follow-up. He actually gets a one-tap onto Amarok and runs straight to last. He does trade with Azunas as well. If Josh gets this kill, there's a back cap potential. But Sorix will shut down any threat that was left over. Shock manages to live throughout that. They have even Ubers, but they don't have the players up to trade with this. It looks like they are just going to back out. Demul now here to help, so they will try and take the trade now on point. But Demul gets dropped from it. Nevo also getting dropped from the enemy team's Uber. And all the spawners are here for both teams. We're just going to have a mid-fight replay as Ora just get forced out through choke. Amarok being picked up on a long respawn as well.
Yeah, that's a really strange fight from both teams. I feel like Ora, they keep trying to push into mid. and they end up facing the inevitable situation that nerdRage have the high ground. But as soon as they walk into second, it suddenly doesn't matter. 2 kills already onto Josh and Kunu. They're going to be chasing further. They get Yeehor as well. 3 down now for nerdRage. They commit a little bit too far. Eames a nice little sticky trap onto the enemy team. Really big pipes. It's a lot of damage onto Shock and Elikor. Actually chasing. They get the kill onto Demul as well. Look at how forward Eames is. I don't think it's enough, as Azunis does bomb in as well. He is really low, and I think finally Ora ready to calm down just a little bit, maybe? Question mark? Blush?
I don't know. Eames is pressuring from the sewer doors here. Amarok is also in. Azunis now has got in undetected. He's straight in onto Shock for free. It's an easy force for Azunis. Good job spotting that opportunity. He snuck through the flank undetected, and now it's just Aura's job to make sure that this 100% Uber advantage works out in their favor.
I just read Kondog's bind in chat. You can't kill the king. Parentheses me, which
He's
is
been spamming that all game. We missed Kondog's
But Eames
trash
did
talk.
such a good job there, locking down the choke. They didn't even have the Uber on nerdRage to really push through choke, get into Kondog at all. Right now, Ora slowly, they know they have time to work with here. It's actually not that much time anymore. Shock is at 70% already. They're going to have to get some frags soon. They're not really pushing this. It's just such a strange, slow push. They trade one soldier for a soldier. Nevo's gone down as well, and they're just going to get fought back off. They're just throwing this Uber out of the water.
Yeah, did they forget it was Ad? Here comes Kunu trying to force this off. They're making their way through the choke, all the space getting collected by nerdRage bit by bit. Connor gets spammed down low. Looks like Eames wants a trade here. He gets used on Sorex, gets flashed in, and the counter Uber comes out a lot later. Will Elikor be able to catch anyone? Connor is stuck in here. He is inevitably going to die. And now Azunis trying to salvage, see if he can get Shock. He does actually knock Shock into Amarok, so that was a perfect soldier combo, managing to clean up the enemy medic right at the end of that fight. But the spawns are so long. If they actually get into last here and manage to not take too much damage, they should be able to win this straight away. They're still capping up second. Oh, that kill onto Sorex seals the deal. Yeah. And they just get a round for free from it. nerdRage managing to get back up the scoreboard here. 2-3 with 4 minutes left. It's definitely doable.
Yeah, this is really scary, honestly. If you are, you're going into a mid-fight right now, which are generally accepted to be a little bit coin flippy. As, yeah, this is... They're 1 round up, so it's still very doable for Ora Elektro as well. But nerdRage, definitely, they have managed to come back into this game. That is a scout so high in the air. I don't think anything further is going to come of it as of yet. Josh has found his way into the enemy PC, just getting a lot of enemy ground here. As Ora, it looks like they're slowly getting choked out of mid, but that's Elikor going down. That's a lot of damage that they are suddenly missing. Demul actually flubs his jump as well, decides to go for high bomb here. He's in onto Kondog, but doesn't find anything other than the ground. Amarok with a nice little 2k already. Elikor still dead, and nerdRage are not able to contest even second, as they will be having to give that up as well. Only all the way back on last.
It's even Ubers, so I don't think they're going to get ahead of themselves here on Ora Elektro. They have this 1 round advantage. There's 3 minutes left. There's no reason for them to try and trade into last and just get wiped or something ridiculous. They can just wait for nerdRage. nerdRage, the clock is against them now. It's a ticking time bomb. They have Demul on Spy and Kunu on Sniper. Demul's made his way into position on the ramps by the stairs on second. Nearly gets bumped accidentally by Sorex. That was a butt clencher. And it looks like Kunu is trying to force Connor towards Demul by peeking from lower here. See if he can get an angle. Demul is still just watching and waiting, but Connor is so suspicious. He's keeping his back to that wall, 360ing every few seconds, making sure no spy can get onto him. I'm pretty sure they know what's going on right now. There's 2 minutes left. An entire minute has been spent by Demul just trying to find an advantageous spot to decloak. It's just not happening.
Kondok's got like the tinfoil hat on right now. He's just wearing everything to protect himself. He's got hazmat suit on. He doesn't want anything to do with anything. Look at him. He's just AD and keeping himself alive. It's a pyro in one right now. Suddenly, gonna have to.
Finally, the young
Tumul is in. It doesn't get anything. He does get a stab onto Eames. Actually, that's a really, really big kill. Might not be the medic, but look at the rest of his team. Tumul and Kunu, they both go down. That kill onto Eames. They're actually not pushing this nerdRage.
Yeah, no, it's a 2-for-2 trade, so it's still risky, but Elekor just in all by his lonesome, pumping out damage. Yeehor trying to deflect people away. They will actually manage to survive. Elekor went down so low there, and the Uber does come out of Connor first, but that is completely debunked by the fact that Shock has had to flash even more, so the Ubers are still completely even, nullifying each other here. But there's so much ground for nerdRage to make. They literally need to wipe Ora right here, right now. They actually get second for free.
Ora on nerdRage, honestly, they just basically have to press the W key and hope that they just get the kills. As soon as he's in, he tries to bump forward, but that Pyro does a really good job of denying him, actually. Demul does get taken down by Sarks, which is a really good kill for nerdRage to get a kill onto Elekor as well, and that's so much damage. Josh is dead as well, so is Yeehor. It's only Kunu and Shock left alive. Ora turn it right back around. It's 30 seconds left.
I think it's
actually
time to
all the
call
way
it.
onto last. It's just Demul as a spawner right now. They're moving in onto this far right, trying to get in. Kondok at 100%. So is Shock. Uber's popped onto the point onto Eames, but he does get flashed in the meantime. Uber just being traded, but there's 11 seconds left right now. Bum freeze. There is no way that nerdRage are able to push this across the map. Map 1, 3 points for Eames as process has ended.
Yeah, congratulations to Ora Elektro. It was getting really tight towards the end there. A valiant comeback attempt from nerdRage, but in the end, Eames too strong, taking the 3-2 lead in the first map, getting them all the points on that ETF2L league table.
Yeah, that was pretty good play coming out of Ora Elektro. I'm surprised, especially the first 3 rounds where they honestly seemed to be very much in control. Felt like maybe that was what it took to sort of wake nerdRage a little bit up. I feel like if we had the nerdRage we saw towards the end of the game, at the beginning of process, I think we might have seen a little bit of a different map overall. They definitely were much better at sort of fighting back what Ora Elektro were bringing to them. But it felt like, honestly, there are just a couple of blunders coming out of nerdRage. Elekor and Shock both kind of getting caught out in situations where you really don't want to get caught out.
Yeah, I think looking at the medic deaths on the logs, Connor with 6, Shock nearly doubling him up on 11, was honestly probably the one place that the teams were vastly different in this matchup, I'd say. I'm not saying that it's Shock's fault, of course. There's 5 players on his team that could be protecting him, but it seemed that Shock was dying a hell of a lot more and even using early more, whilst Connor managed to stay back and, milk for an extra few seconds, which got them some advantageous Ubers. It just seemed like Ora definitely deserved that map, outplaying nerdRage there.
Yeah, I mean, overall, I think they definitely played better, as you were saying. But it gives me hope for Sunshine, because Sunshine is one of those maps where I think this is the map where I've seen the most sort of stalemates on last that just end after 10 minutes and reset. So it's so hard to push Sunshine last.
Yeah.
Let's hope it's going to be fun.
Tactical pauses are so OP in this game. That could have easily been a 5-0, but as soon as it gets to 3 rounds, nerdRage are just like, okay, let's call it here. Let's talk about what's actually going wrong. And immediately, they just seemed like a completely different team into that 4th round.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely something to be said about it. I'm actually, honestly, thinking about it, I'm so surprised that more teams don't take tac pauses, because it's something that it's run so commonly. Like, obviously, the flow of the game maybe doesn't appeal to it as much as maybe CS, but you definitely still have, like, in between rounds, time to take tac pauses, and as you can see, they really do pay off sometimes. something as well in North America, you even have the halftime built into how you play the matches, giving you that extra little time to discuss what's going wrong on mid fights, etc. Why are we losing these pushes? It's really helpful. Ora definitely coming out on top of it. Hopefully, however, at least for them, they should be in a situation in this map where they won't need attack pause.
Yeah, hopefully that's just been their first refresh is all they need. What if we see a counter-attack pause? We just have several attack pauses in a game.
One of my favorite things in CS is when I'm playing CS in my highly skilled Silver 2 office games, is saying, guys, 1 second, I have to go to the bathroom, can you please pause? And then just like starting a vote kick for a player instead, and it's always really funny.
Classic. So everyone's pre-firing the vote yes key, and then
yeah, and then you just kick the best player. And so with that in mind, like pauses are funny. And I don't know where I'm going with it, honestly. I just wanted to tell you about my epic troll in Counter-Strike.
Yeah, nice one. You're really funny. Good job. Well done. But moving on to TF2.
I'm trying to bring it back and I just can't. I don't know where it's going.
What do you expect from Sunshine? Do you think nerdRage will be able to carry forward the momentum they were starting to get? Or do you think Ora were just too fierce on map 1? Do you think the map makes much of a difference, considering Sunshine and Process are known to be so similar in terms of layout?
I think that the mids on Sunshine play out a little bit differently. There is more high ground for soldiers to take on this mid than probably, I'm thinking about it right now, like any other map. The bell tower in the middle, it is accessible by scouts, but it is so hard for a scout to get up there, and honestly, just not even that effective for him. So these mids, they're honestly, a lot of the time, they seem to be very much decided by who gets a better double soldier bomb, not even necessarily getting the kills, but who's able to use the bomb, sort of force the enemy out of mid. And honestly, from what I've been seeing so far, it seems to me like Amarok and Azunis just seem to have the better synergy when it comes to these bombs.
Yeah, and this is not a map that lends itself to the slow mid styles we were seeing in the first map, with there being like massive crate dividers on Process, a big structure down the middle of the map. It's quite easy to stay on your own side and not have to worry. But here you have these spots above Cafe where your soldiers can just stand and spam so easily. If you stay in the same place on this mid, have all your team in the exact same spot, you'll get punished hard for it. So we should see a lot faster mids than we saw on the first map, of just teams staying on their own side and being like, no, you hang up first. No, you hang up first.
Yeah. And I'm hoping that's a good thing, because I think that's pretty much the only part of Sunshine that actually promotes aggression. Pushing into second is just like an absolute chore on this map. It's so hard. It's pretty much the only thing you can really do, because the defending team has like cover they can hide behind and also high ground. It's just and like a long distance for the opponent to have to cover as well. You pretty much have to push off like either like 3 picks or a really big uber charge advantage. And when if you want to take like a round all the way into last on Sunshine, like it's so difficult. You basically have to wipe the team on mid if you want to make a round conversion, especially on this map. Even Sunshine, I have seen so many pushes into last with full advantage that still end up not working, just because of the way the map sort of last is designed, the way you sort of have to slowly creep in and give up high ground as you are pushing into the enemy, sort of pushing into what is usually a heavy and a sentry. But enough of me complaining about this right now. We aren't there yet. So they are trolling us.
We'll complain as we end up in the stalemate. We'll have plenty of time to do so. As we do start up the second map, if you're just joining us, Ora, aka the Church of Jazunis, leads this series 1-0. They took the first map 3-2 in regulation time. And now we're here on Sunshine. Azunis rolling out fast, already on the point.
Yeah,
he's going to jump back. He's so weak, in fact. Connor will bow him back up, but he still has to go back and get a pack. Josh being the first casualty of mid, but Eames is soon to follow. Everyone on Ora Elektro around this valley area. All the space on mid. Currently nerdRages, but as Azunis gets back into the fight, they will change that instantly.
Yeah, they are working forwards right now. Kunu does go down. Sorix gets kill onto him. And suddenly the positions are just kind of reversed. That kill onto Eames wasn't enough. As Ora, they just managed to come back in. They got Azunis and Amarok onto the high ground, onto the bell tower, able to just spam nerdRage out of mid. As now both teams do have Uber. So we are into what is basically now at this point an absolute classic of a stalemate. Eames is going to be walking into Flower. Tries to find a soldier, but he's just going to sticky it up, daring that soldier to come bomb him, showing his medic, being like, come kill Kondog if you can.
Amarok in with a very fast sack, actually forces Shock off immediately. That's not the stalemate we were expecting to see.
Nope.
An instant pop from Shock means that it's now full advantage for Connor. That was a really nice sack from Amarok. There's a bit of distraction from either side, and he just goes in at warp speed. We'll see if Connor even has to use here, or if they'll be able to take down these kills for free. Dimul actually bombing in straight onto the combo. Will take Eames down so low, but Connor with Balls of Steel just does not pop that Uber out to save him. Now Azunis in with a big bomb. He does so much damage to Josh and Yeehor that it actually just clears them out of second. He loses his life for it, but it's completely worth it now. The 50% Uber advantage by Connor, bringing it in left side on the attacker's perspective. Now Eames bombing forwards, immediately killing Shock. There are still stickies on point, but they have all the frags in the high ground here. Now they just need to not lose their medic or their players. They just need to take down these last remaining players on nerdRage. As they edge the point, the stickies are dead and all the frags are going their way. That was just perfection from Ora all the way through.
That was so well played. Walking into that last there, they get the kill onto Kondog off of that Uber pop. Eames hitting 2 clean pipes onto Kondog, gets the kill, and then they slow it right back down. They know they have the heals, they have the health to let nerdRage come into them, and they just spam them out, get onto the point with the frags if they get the round. And now, for the second mid, it looks like someone's decided to go Cafe on both teams. Elikor already down to 25 HP. There's a soldier onto that bell tower. Is a blue soldier, but Elikor, he's so far back as there's no real presence. They have a scout on Ora onto that bell tower, and that makes it so hard to be a soldier on this map. Josh tries to jump forward, but Nevo just shuts him down completely. nerdRage is still in right now. They're in Flower. They do have a player stuck somewhere, I do believe. There is a soldier in onto Kondog. Doesn't get the frag, however. It's just one scout. I think he should not be one long for this world, as Yeehor is taken down as well.
Yeah, Azunis just so confident there. He noticed that Elikor rolled out Cafe last round, so he put that fast rollout to work and just shut Elikor out the mid immediately. Eames going down there, 2 Elikor's stickies, and Amarok getting cleaned up as well. So 2 down, one of which being a demo, means that nerdRage are going to get into mid so easily here. There's so much space that can't be denied now that Ubers are being traded.
Dimul is 1 HP. If you believe in Dimul, please type 1 in chat to show him your support, as he is actually just going to watch his soldier friend Josh in the kill feed get shot down. Josh goes in for a force, doesn't really get any kills, but with him going down, and actually Elikor gets a kill onto Nevo. So now the aggression is going to come out of Cafe here. Shock and Elikor both go down to Azunis and Sorix. They get Kunu as well, actually. It's just Dimul, 10 HP this time. Add a 0 to that 1 in chat, boys. He is going to get taken down. And it's only Yeehor and Josh left alive. It's 2 up. They are capping point, and Eames, he's already looking to go into last there. Josh getting taken down as well. It's just Yeehor. He's going to have to boss his way through 6 players.
There are spawns coming up though. Elikor already locking Sorix's exit, so Sorix just has to pass the forwards, and that's what works out best for him as per usual. Takes down Elikor, takes down another player while surviving on very low HP, and that's just another easy round for Ora. Dude, Shock went down on second there. One of the soldiers, like, got Shock to surf, and the other soldier was pretty much just rolling out and like accidentally air-to-air shot Shock out of the air. It was a beauty to see.
Yeah.
And then from there, yeah, just Ora are on their A game today. They are just perfectly playing all these situations that they find themselves up in. Elikor, scared to death of rolling out Cafe, now will come through Valley this time.
Yeah, this
And it's a
feels,
submarine
honestly...
mid, 2 scouts going straight under the point, just WM1 into the enemy combo.
The control point is being
It is a 5v3 as they just instantly wipe everyone on Ora Elektro. Oh my god, the scouts get a combined 5 kills in the mid just from running under the point. That is not something you see every day.
I wanted to say that this felt like a repeat of map 1, but it looks like nerdRage have managed to turn it around a little bit earlier. That submarine mid was pretty good. They need to remember to cap second, as they aren't quite willing to push in yet off this ad that they do have. Waiting for Elektro to come back with them. He is in Flower right now, or Valley, depending on your sexuality. As we will be watching people walk into lobby right now. Sentry gun will be set up. Elektro is actually all the way in. He gets taken down. Or takes down the sentry, sorry, never mind. Amarok is walking forwards right now, but Elektro is taken down. Stickies are still on the point. I don't think nerdRage should be able to get it. Amarok with a massive flank takes down Yeehaw. Kunu is so low. And, yeah. This is a push.
They just used into the wrong side there. They didn't know where the enemy were holding, and by the end of their Uber, they hadn't managed to find anything. In fact, their Ubered players went down immediately after the invulnerability wore off, so 3 kills for Ora on the last point. But will they be able to push out with all of these spawns up now? They've been very slow about it, and it's only a 20 advantage. Josh manages to sneak his way into lobby behind them, which is threatening. They do actually finally make way onto the point and use off their Uber. Eames trying to chase down Shock now, but Shock will not pop for a long time. Eames is caught, doomed to die. Elektro bombing forwards. Will he be able to catch anything on the end of the Uber? He does get Amarok as well. So now with 3 down, this looks like it's nerdRage's for the taking. They just need these 3 last players. Nevo in from behind. What's going on here? He doesn't even shoot anyone. He was trying to block the point. He had 3 kills in front of him, but he knew that's not what he needed to do at the time. But there we have it. nerdRage taking their first round of the game. We're 2-1 for Ora now.
Yeah, that was really nice capitalizing off the end, getting those frags, getting all the way back onto last. They're back with a point, and this time, instead of 11, 12 minutes, it's only 21. It's a lot easier. They also only have to get a single round. We are back onto middle. Amarok does a massive skip jump onto the enemy cafe right now. He'll just be spamming out the medics so far. I don't think either team really wants to go in quite yet. Never mind. That's a soldier straight in onto Eames. Gets him taken down. Kondo is 70 HP. Doesn't kill him either, but there we go. Amarok and Sark's all going down. Nevo as well. Shock is taken down by Azunis, saving his team. As it is a wipe, but Shock is taken down, and that is very much Aura still in it in this round.
That was a clever mid-fight by nerdRage there. Both teams took each other's side, but nerdRage left someone in choke. That was Demul. They left in their own choke, which then ended up having him pretty much behind Aura, seeing as the teams have swapped sides. And it was Demul's initiation, an instant kill on Eames, that was really just what turned the tide of the mid-fight and just won them that one. But yeah, good job from Ora to manage to pick up Shock right at the end of that mid-fight. I was not expecting them to get it after Nevo tried to run him from behind and got instantly piped, but I guess that was just the distraction for the soldier.
Yep. It was all planned. It's the French hive mind, you know. They're all just one human being playing like 5 different classes at once. Some super French guy who's just like plugged directly into a computer. So
that's Night Terror, isn't it?
Oh yeah, but AZN. But he's also called Broda. He has a lot of names. The Singularity. So
but here we have
sniping Bumfries.
Yeah, the infamous stalemate we were talking about.
Yep, here it is.
Going to be on Sniper to stop them from peeking the only 2 viable entrances into this last point, which is a real shame. Sentry Gun also up for Nevo, of course. Pretty much just standard these days, as Josh does sack in and sees why the Sentry Gun is so standard, as both soldiers get taken down, but in the meantime, Nevo and Eames get killed by Josh.
Yeah, that was a really big bomb coming out of Josh. getting that kill onto Eames is so important. That's no stickies on the point. Means that Horror, they have to play on it. There's no sticks to deny it anymore. And you can look at Kunu just trying to edge the point. Doesn't quite get it. That sentry gun and the rest of Ora do a very good job keeping everyone off of it. Hoopers are back to even. Sorix is back on Sniper. We're going to be here for a little while longer.
But in the meantime, Azunis has managed to stay alive for long enough to build up his banner. He's got that conch ready to go. If there is a trade, this means that Azunis will have the better end of it in the afterfight. They'll be able to pop off that conch. Gives them a bit of healing, a bit of speed. Very advantageous to be the team to have one. Josh and Demil both just trying to spam this sentry out now, but they don't have a direct line of sight onto the sentry. They can only splash it, which does half the damage. Not going to be enough DPS to outdo the healing of the wrench, so that sentry's staying up for now. But Demil tries to get in, but fluffs his jump and gets punished for it. Amarok and Sorix going to be the ones to clean that one up.
So right now, Demul has gone down, which I don't know about you, but there is a very high percentile chance that he comes back up on Sniper. Or he opens up a door for Sniper, or
No,
I'm
looks
just
like
wrong.
He's just out.
Which, okay, whatever. You know, sometimes
But we do see
you get
Sorix
him.
on the defensive spy though. He's making his way into the dungeon right now.
I love this so much. Because here's the thing, Bumfries. The sniper angles out of last aren't really that good. Because if a team is standing in your sightline as a sniper, they're already getting hit by Demo Man and Soldier Spam. But a spy doesn't care about sightlines. He just cares about the back. Wait, hold on. Are they
There's
just
a
pushing
double
last
second.
anyways?
They just-
Sox is on. He's
they
just
forced-
shanking. He's shanking. Shocked
They
twice.
forced
Doesn't
Connor.
get anything more than in the meantime. They try to walk forwards. They get the force on a Condog. The con just popped out as well. It hasn't really gotten anything. As soon as it's in, he gets the kill onto Elektro. I don't think anything else. nerdRage, that's honestly... They lose a bunch of players, but that's pretty good for them, as they're going to come back right back in with this Uber charge. That is a Demo Man. Going to get shot. I do believe that Yeehor should be able to find some sort of kill. He doesn't. Never mind. He has to back off here, and it looks like Ora have managed to repel it.
And it's
Amarok
ad
going
for
down as
Connor,
well.
seeing as they did not die to that Uber out of shock. So they know they've got this 60% ad here. Going to be walking out of last, hopefully. They're opting to go from rollout. They actually do change their mind and go the more sensible route of lower left. But Eames just gets pounded by Josh, takes every rocket, and that's going to be them back to last, most likely. Yeah, can we just recap what happened on last before that? Like, Josh sacked in while Connor was stood inside a dispenser. Yeehor materialized out of thin air to play the point, and then everyone was... It was just chaos. Once again, Josh in with the sack, gets shut down by the sentry immediately. Demil does the same. Yeehor tries to play the point. Nothing works out how they wanted to this time. That's 2 picks for Ora Elektro. They're going to take the space up in lobby. Azuna's still on the banner. He looks like he's trying to get some damage through this shutter, spamming to build it up. He's got 30% of his banner ready to go at the moment, but he wants it all the way up for the next time something like that happens. They should be able to dry push out if they manage to get the banner. But this last is so difficult to push out of. You've seen so many times that they've had 3 picks and there's just nothing to do as long as it's still even Ubers. Elektro this time manages... Never mind. Josh is going to get sniped instantly by Sorix, so everyone from nerdRage just leaves lobby. The wise thing to do, take it easy, no need to risk getting caught out in lobby.
Yeah, Josh just gets hit by TF2 there. It's pretty much the entire game summed up in a nutshell, as he tries to do something, gets shot by like 10 things at once, takes 1 million damage, and like doesn't even get to move, as he just dies instantly. There's nothing to do, almost like getting shot in real life. As right now, they're trying to move back into lobby. Elektro is clearing out stickies, taking ammo in lower right now. They want to get something, but they also have to be so careful of this sniper.
Demul's in from the other
Josh
side.
is going to get shot down. Demul as well. This sentry gun does so much work. There's a scout in lower. Yeehaw just runs into the stickies of Eames.
Wait, I have
The
an
French
idea.
hive mind has completely downloaded you, nerdRage.
Why don't we do the same thing 3 times in a row? Doesn't work out once again. Now it's Amarok all the way in onto Shock. He does surf the first rocket, but he surfs into another soldier who promptly forces him off. Connor with a much better Uber now as the flashes do come out of nerdRage. Kunu might get stuck here. He does manage to slither out. Demo is trying to take an angle from Flower. He's come up on Sniper during all this time. Yeehaw in behind actually gets the 2-shot on Connor. That was a good job by him, and now Nevo gets cleared up by Demo.
Oh, Demo trying. Oh, unlucky. Demo does get taken down there.
As soon as... No! Oh! He gets
No,
it!
he got...
Amarok helps him out to clean up Shock right at the end there. So, that has just saved them from a doomed last hold. That was so good by those French soldiers. Once again, I thought he was going to whiff it. He got Shock down to like 1 health, but his team are there with the follow-up now. They are looking to push out as the banner is popped. Azunis with the conch. Second is absolutely free. Josh, though, will look to shut him down. And actually, Connor
again.
dies to Yeehaw.
Why don't they get to live? Just let them breathe. These medics are just not having a good time. Everyone just killing them all the time. There has not been an Uber for a while. Connor gets taken down. So Shock, despite dying like 10 times, he's still got the advantage.
Yeah,
he's
Sorek's
looking...
all the way behind on mid as well, being absolutely useless. They know he's there. He's going to 1v1 Yeehaw and get Timmy 2-tapped out of the sky. So here we have a big ad for Shock. Let's see if they can manage to break this Aura hold now with an Uber. They've been struggling at it for so long, but this could finally be their round. Here it looks like they're going left with Elekor and Kunu. They pop it straight round the corner. They're getting onto the sentry gun. It's down immediately. But now, Eames and his crew have rotated onto the side of Last, which has the high ground.
Oh, Elekor does get sniped by Eames there. As Nevo, it gets a kill with the Yeehaw without crits. He did blow up his sentry gun, try to shoot Elekor with those crit shotguns. Didn't quite hit them. Josh is just going to get forced out of lobby as well. Does take an arrow. Dumul is still on the sniper. You can see it's actually hampering the abilities of Aura to move out quite a bit. He does take down Nevo, and that's definitely, it might not be a definitive kill, but it's definitely a warning sign. But Sorek just finds Elekor. They actually forgot to cap. Bomb freeze?
It's fine. Eames will go back and grab it at the last second there. And now Connor wants to use this small ad to get in, but Demo is just watching the angle from Tetris. Sorek gets into him, and that means there is no longer a threat. Connor straight into mid. Eames gets taken down. There's loads of kills being traded, actually. One of which is Shock, who manages to go down in all of that and makes Connor's ad absolutely huge.
Yeah, Yeehaw tries to go in for a backup there as well. Does get taken down. Eames is now going to come back up. Most likely just going to wait for the forward spawn, as they do have, on Ora Elektro's side, a full Uber charge advantage, which is really big if you want to move in, if you want to get anything. But honestly, if they want to get into last day, if they want to convert this into a round, they want to not get forced in on this second. And it looks like Demul is doing everything he can. He hits 2 rockets onto Sorek, but that's not Condog. They're actually going to try to fight this. Uber comes out. Josh is taken down already. Kunu down as well. It's just Nevo. He's barreling forwards into this enemy team. Shock is alone. Elekor tries to go on to save him at the very end, but it's just not there. He's 40 HP. Gets taken down by Amarok as well. Yeehaw, the only man alive, is he's going to have to block this second point. Doesn't get it in time. Gets taken down by Azunis. That's another round for Aura. It's 10 minutes left, and Ora Elektro are 2 rounds, 3-1.
Aura are so in control, I can't even describe. Their last hold has clearly had a lot of thought put into it, because everything that's been thrown at them by nerdRage just doesn't work. Even with the Ubercharge advantage, it's a lot easier to come out of that other spawn if they rotate up onto the high ground. So they've just managed to coast that off of the fact that nerdRage held way too close trying to get that force and pretty much allowed themselves to wipe Connor's Uber. Here we have the 5th mid. Demul manages to knock Amarok off the bell tower, but he dies for it. Nevo and Yeehor both go low in that fight, but Connor and Co have absolutely no space on mid. They're all just chilling out by their choke. It's a 4v5 though now, as Ora do have the man advantage. Josh jumping behind into choke will immediately get cleared off by Nevo, and now Shock is in a dangerous position. He has the Uber, but he's on the enemy team's side. He's gonna have to use to get out here, and he drops Kunu from the Uber. They are gonna get juggled all the way in here. Shock should not live, but he manages to get a Magician Surf out, but Azunis chases it and just dies. Kratos to his death trying to chase that. Shock has managed to Houdini out of a situation where he had no right to.
Elocore getting taken down as well means that Ora, they are already in onto lobby. They looked like they want to pressure this left side. Never mind, they do become a little bit wiser as they realize all the projectile classes are back up. They finally get a little bit of rest. That was a really long fight, sort of a mid-fight that got extended into a second fight as well. Ora are in control. They have a 30% advantage, but they're not in lobby yet.
Yeah, I don't think they know it's an advantage, because I don't think it technically should be. The trade came out at roughly the same time, and the only reason they have this ad is that Shock wasn't healing for a short while he was escaping from dungeon, but Ora don't know that, so it's allowed to all even up here. But to be honest, Ora do not care that it's evened up. They could have taken that push in with the advantage, but they're 2 rounds up in lobby. There's no reason for them to. Demil sacks in here, Sorix goes down, so it's a 1-for-1. And now the sack in from Azunis just gets completely shut down. Amarok as well dying to Josh in the meantime. So 3 down. Here come nerdRage. Will they be any better at pushing out than they were pushing in?
Are getting forwards with that kill, but the Uber is coming out of Ora. They do get a kill onto Kunu, but Sorix is traded for him. Looks like Ora, they don't really want anything to do with this anymore. They have successfully bullied Ora out. There's a soldier just flying in somewhere. Josh is taken down as well by Eames, actually tries to chase him in the cafe. Nevo has gone down. They're still fighting in choke, but that's Amarok going down. Demul is on to flank on Flowers as well. He's on to the bell tower right now. In onto the medic. He does get a single rocket onto Condog, who's 30 HP. Almost gets the pack. There's a scout on him, but it looks like there are just too many players backing him up. Never mind. Yeehor takes a kill onto Azunis. Leaves him for now as they trade it 1-for-1 in the end. But nerdRage have gotten middle off of that. They might... I hope they don't want to fight second, but they might do it anyway. It's 6.5 minutes left, Bumfries. So we are getting closer and closer to the deadline for when Ora want to come back into this game.
Yeah, nerdRage need 2 rounds in 6 minutes. Josh walking into choke and gets punished for it. But he will get chased down by Nevo, actually not managing to get the kill. Yeehor running all the way in, just trying to 1v1 Nevo. He'll get that frag. So it's actually 2 picks in Ora's favor now. They've lost 1, that's Nevo, but Eames spots the stickies hidden in the doorway on mid, which means that Connor's going to take the safe route, go a different way. They are managing to get all the damage in onto Josh, but not the kill, and in fact Sorix being the one to go down there. Azunis also sacking onto Shock in the meantime. The pick advantage has completely flipped. Now it's 2 in favor of nerdRage. Amarok going to be hiding here. Bombs off the lighthouse straight onto Shock. Gets the first rocket, but Shock stays alive and he keeps his Uber in his gun.
Alright, so Ubers are even, but there's a kill onto
nerdRage are already
Amarok.
in. They've
The
used
Uber's just
lower.
going to come all the way in. They're trading it onto last, but they don't really get anything. Get a kill onto Amarok, but he's coming up right now. They lost Josh as well in that push. They're just going to have to go in anyway. There's a sniper looking at them. Soldiers bombing forwards, but Demul gets absolutely shut down there by Sorix. Elocore eats a headshot, and I think that should be it for the last fight there. Elocore gets a nice little kill onto Azunis, but I don't think it's quite enough. They need to get more kills. Ora know this. They aren't moving an inch.
Yeah, they are so confident with this last hold. It's not been broken by nerdRage yet. They hold on this right-hand side from their perspective rather than holding the high ground. And then even if there's an Uber used into them, as we saw earlier, they can rotate out of the other side. And it's so much easier than if they were holding vice versa and rotating vice versa to the right side. Because there's just so many more obstacles on that side that they can't really trap the spawn door for them to rotate out of. Demol just keeps sacking into this sentry over and over. It's just, nothing's going to change. Then you're not getting that kill under any circumstances, I don't think, bar an absolute miracle. They're going to have to change it up here. They've got 4 minutes and they need 2 rounds. If Ora can set up this hold again in the next round, even if nerdRage win this one, with how long it's been taking nerdRage to deal with it, I think I'd still favor Ora. Demol now taking this peak versus Sorex.
Oh.
Sorex actually kills Josh, but Demol gets Sorex immediately after, so 2 snipers go 1 for 1. And now Demol taking the other angle up top. Amarok trying to deny it with his rockets. They're just taunting each other through that transparent material. They're like, we can both see each other, but we know we're not going to kill each other.
All of the pressure right now is on Demol to hit some sort of snipe that isn't just Sorex. That snipe onto Sorex is nice, but all it really does is open him up for the rest of the last, but he does get taken down by Sorex. That is such a huge kill, as Demol really is the only one on nerdRage right there capable of doing anything sort of proactive, getting a kill onto the enemy team. Elektro still in lobby. He's alone right now. Thankfully, his team
Azunis snuck into dungeon, but they sniffed him out. Could have been dangerous, but they do elect to just use in here. 2 players in the Uber. Connor uses out a lot later. This is 70% add in the Uber for Connor. Will they be able to get any frags with it, as Kunu is just juggled about all over the lobby? But Amarok actually ends up being the only death. They just need to win this dry repush afterwards, and it's working out. Both soldiers down. They're playing the point. They haven't even seen the sentry because it doesn't cover the point. That's perfect from nerdRage on the repush. 6 people still alive. They know that that sentry isn't there to stop the point play. It's only there to stop Connor from being sacked on. As soon as they get that force out, they don't die in lobby, which was very impressive to not lose anyone there. And then they just re-push in, play the point perfectly. 2 minutes now. They need this round. They need to win this mid-fight.
Bumfries, listen to me. Are we going to mid? It looks like there's actually a really nice air shot there coming out of the soldier onto Josh. They're trying to bomb in, but look at Demol. He's all the way in onto Condok. He gets the air shot as well. That's a really big pick, but the rest of his team is dying. Eames is 19 HP. I'm not really sure if he's able to follow up. Elektro is falling down as well. Josh gets clapped by Azunis. Amarok's the only one up. But Yehor, he's absolutely bossing the rest of his team. He's 20 HP. Finally gets taken down. That's a wipe. There's a minute and a half left. And nerdRage, they don't have time again. They have to go forward.
For nerdRage.
Right now.
Here. They have add because Connor isn't healing right now. He spawned alone on last. So they have up to 40% add here. It's only going to grow due to Kritzkrieg building Uber faster, but we need to see it work out perfectly. They're not quite denying Eames from even being able to repush into mid. They've only just got all their spawners now, so Josh gets collapsed on immediately. He's the first casualty of this second mid fight. Everyone on both teams very low, and nerdRage still trying to cap up this middle point as we're on 85% Kritzkrieg now. If they stay around any longer, this could be devastating, but there's no demo to use it on. It's on a scout. Will Kunu be able to get it done? He does take down the medic. Can he get more? He gets Azunis as well.
No, Sorex, he gets the kill to Shock. He's in Tetris. That may have been really good, but Nevo's 16 HP. I think there's 20 seconds left. Nevo has to pull out. Is it though? Amarok is already up. He's a spawner. Nevo's trying to backcap here, but I don't think he's going to get it.
There's 10 seconds. I don't think it's possible. This round is over. It looks like 5 seconds left.
Oh, he's on the point.
Oh, Kunu manages to get shut down, and it's all 6 points of the official go to the Church of Jazunis after 2 3-2 victories, both on Process and Sunshine. They just managed these nail-biting victories to get all 6 points. Congratulations to them.
Wow. Okay. That was getting really close towards the end. I like where the crit was going, but unfortunately, they just ended up losing Elektro there towards the end. Not having that demo for the crits was huge. Even though there was Kunu there to pick up some of the slack, Demoman crits, especially you've seen some of the clips of Elikor, you know. I think if there's a player you really want to give it to, it's probably him. It almost worked out, but unfortunately time just wasn't quite in their favor. Ora did such a good job of delaying them on that mid for so long, dragging it out. Even though they did get wiped, it didn't really matter because they just spent so much time getting it. As you said, they did get all 6 points in total. Taking a look at the log, look at Sorix. He goes 2 for 1, as you do on this map.
Yeah, I mean, just the winner of that map for me is Ora Elektro's last hold, proving to be an impossible fortress to penetrate on Sunshine here. Notoriously very difficult to push last, but they're even managing to use that last hold against triple sacks, against full Uber advantages for the other team. Just everything was working out while they were on their own last there, and obviously very valiant effort from nerdRage, nearly capping that out at the end. I didn't think it was possible, but I didn't notice Kunu was pre-firing the last point. Whew, we do have some people waiting upstairs for interviews.
We have a lot of people. I'm really scared because some of these names weren't in the game, Bumfries.
Yeah, most of these players weren't in the game by the looks of things.
Yeah, leave the rest of them out.
Yeah, we've dragged in the people that matter. We've got
followers.
Connor, we've got Eames. You guys must be chuffed after that 6 points.
Yeah, pretty chuffed. Pretty fun games, I must say. Like, very back and forth. We felt like we got a good grip on them at the start, I guess, on both maps. But yeah, they definitely made us fucking work. Made us work for it. And well, yeah, I'm very proud of my team. We weren't so strong in our last scrim results start of the season, but you know, officials, that's what matters. So there you go, pretty good.
Yeah, you're not gonna lose out on any points from scrim results. So were you expecting them to win based on your scrim results? Are you surprised?
No, not really. I mean, whatever. I think we're the first to admit that you don't really have to read too much into scrims. So, I mean, whatever. I'm sure we lost to them quite a few times in scrims, but we're more aware of how our actual performance is than other people are who look at the logs. So, whatever, it doesn't really matter.
Connor, do you want to throw out some trash talk in anyone's direction?
No.
You're reformed?
Yes.
Nice.
His voice seems reformed too.
His voice seems a little bit Swedish.
That's messed up, that.
What's happening?
It's pretty weird.
Yeah, it's pretty weird.
Do you want to give us some full sentences, Connor, so we can hear a voice of yours?
You can't kill the king.
That's true.
That is
You can't
true.
kill the king, brackets, me, I believe, the full quote.
Yeah, me.
I feel like the real Condog would have known that full quote and would have said the full quote.
Shit.
Guys, Yeho's in this interview too.
Yeho, anything to say?
Well, after that game, I'm pretty pumped. I'm pretty excited for the season. You know, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah?
Wandum, think of questions. I'm no good at this.
Yeehaw. What does it feel like when you're that far behind towards the end of the game? You really have to bring it back.
Whoa.
What are the comms
thick.
like?
Laying it on thick.
Yeah?
I don't know. I was pretty calm throughout the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
We had like a pause and we just like talked about what to do, and we like almost came back. So it was a good like reset. So I wasn't that upset about it. I wasn't screaming or anything.
So, what do you think about maybe Condog? You know, obviously we have heard that apparently he's like moved to Sweden or something. Do you think that's changed his playstyle in any way?
I've gone a lot
Can you tell
better.
a difference?
Yeah.
I'm asking Yeehaw right now, Condog. I'm really sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm an idiot. Name's Condog.
It's not his first language.
People used to get permabanned for this kind of thing.
Sorry, what was the question? What's the question? Condor, can you tell me what the question was?
All right, Yeehaw, what exactly was your team talking about in that tactical pause that allowed you to come back? What did you find was the problem?
Yeah, it was a great comeback, one for the ages. We just like talked about the mids because we were kind of, I don't know, we lost 3 rounds in the blink of an eye. It's kind of strange. So we just like had to take a moment to be like, okay, we need to fix our mids, and then from there we kind of just played on from there, pretty much.
From there, you beasted.
Then we lost.
Yeah, but before that you beasted, that's what matters, right?
Yeah. That's what everyone will remember.
Juan, do you have any more questions to ask, or does any guest have anything else to say?
I think we should move it ahead to the shout-outs. I guess, do you want to give Connog shout-outs? I don't know if he's deserved them, to be completely honest, Bumfries.
Are you being racist just because he's moved to Sweden?
Maybe. I don't like... as a Dane, I sort of have... We have cultural differences, and I'm not really sure if I'm ready to give him the honor of a shout-out. But you know what? I'll be generous, and I'll give it to him anyway. Go on, Condog.
Shout out to Classy.
Good choice.
Very wise.
What about you, Eames? Do you have any shout-outs?
I've got a shout out, Classy. You know what? Let me just scroll down real quick. Shout out to Gink, Nas, Captain, Nubby, Pappy, Seed, Sill, and of course, Copper. And all my team in particular. Actually, just all of my team. They're all insane.
Oh, he was about to pick favourites. That would have been it.
His team doesn't get mentioned by name.
No.
Yeah.
It's just a business like friendship, you know.
What about Yeehaw? Do you have any shout-outs?
Yeah.
Yeah? Would you
Yeah,
mind
I do.
mentioning them?
Nah.
All right. What about you,
I have
Bumfries?
some though.
Okay, can you go?
No, but I do have some.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say them, but I do have some.
Okay, Bumfries, do you have any shout-outs?
Shout out to Beta. Shout out to chat. Shout out to Classy and/or Corndog.
Thank you.
All right, and I think with that, we should be finishing off for tonight. My name has been Wandum. Bumfries has been here as well, and so has Beta on the production. Thank you, everyone, for coming out. It's been really fun. I've enjoyed myself. Good night, everyone.